Modern society operates on a specific assumption that we end at the neck. We treat human consciousness like an isolated supercomputer, totally severed from the massive, tangled nervous system humming beneath the surface. This creates a unique modern trap. When we experience anxiety, trauma, or chronic stress, we try to solve it with pure intellect. We talk in endless circles, analyzing our childhoods and dissecting our triggers, hoping that if we just understand the problem, it will disappear. But human emotions are not abstract concepts. Anger, fear, and sorrow are intense, immediate physical events happening in the tissues of the body. In the mid-20th century, a teacher named S.N. Goenka began spreading a 2,500-year-old premise that predicted modern neurobiology. The mind and the body are a single, continuous feedback loop. The core biological engine of this loop is transduction. This is the process where your nervous system takes physical energy, like the pressure of a touch or a shift in hormones, and converts it into electrical signals the brain can read. Goenka taught a parallel concept called Vedanā, or sensation. In this framework, you cannot have a single thought or encounter an object without the contact producing a subtle physical vibration in the body. To change our baseline level of stress, we have to stop arguing with our thoughts and instead learn how to perform surgical extraction on our physical sensations. Every human experience breaks down into a precise, lightning-fast chain of 4 steps: contact with an object, perception of what that object is, the physical sensation it creates, and finally, the mental reaction to that sensation. This sequence reveals the central illusion of human behavior. When someone insults you, you aren't reacting to their words. You are reacting to the uncomfortable tightness in your chest or the heat in your face that their words produced. This diagram maps the ancient terminology directly onto modern biology. The final step in the chain, Sankhāra, is a mental volition or reaction of craving or aversion. Today, science calls this the neurochemical habit loop. Our daily misery is driven by our blind, automatic biological reactions to our own internal feelings. Neuroscience explains this through Hebbian theory, a rule which states that neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you react to a physical tension with a mental state of anger, you reinforce a specific physical circuit in your brain. This is the biological reality of karma. By reacting with craving or aversion to what you feel right now, you are physically carving new neural pathways that will dictate how you respond tomorrow. Goenka described 3 distinct levels of these reactions: fleeting thoughts that disappear like lines drawn on water, stronger moods that fade like tracks traced in sand, and deep traumas carved into solid rock. Karma is the physical architecture of your nervous system, built brick by your own past reactions. We usually think of memories as files stored in a cabinet in the brain, but during trauma or intense emotion, the brain's narrative center, known as Broca's area, often shuts down, while the feeling center remains wide open. Because the brain drops the narrative, the memory is stored entirely as a physiological signature. The body acts as a biological hard drive, locking unexpressed reactions into your tissues as chronic tension, heat, or pain. In the practice of Vipassana meditation, when the mind finally quiets down, these stored bodily memories bubble up to the surface. You experience them not as visual flashbacks, but as intense, unexplainable physical sensations. Our physical bodies are warehouses of our unexamined history. We physically hold on to the past until we systematically process the backlog. This process of mental surgery is practiced today in centers around the world, built to guide people through the physical extraction of their deepest conditioning. Emptying the body's warehouse requires 2 conceptual tools. The first is upekkha, or radical equanimity, the ability to observe without reacting. The second is anicca, the understanding that every sensation is impermanent and bound to change. Look at this neural pathway. By observing a triggering sensation without reacting, you engage in extinction learning, starving an old memory of the reaction it needs to survive. Denied its fuel, the physical architecture breaks down. The solid pain dissolves into a stream of rapid, subatomic vibrations that simply pass away. By sitting entirely still and simply observing, the old reaction loop has nowhere to go. You are starving the habit of its fuel until the connection itself fragments and disappears. This process rewires the relationship between the brain's centers. Over time, the prefrontal cortex, the logical, conscious part of the brain, successfully trains the amygdala, the fear center. You learn to experience intense discomfort without triggering an automatic panic response. You reach a state where you remain perfectly balanced and undisturbed, even while a chaotic, turbulent storm swirls violently around you. Mastering the physical sensations within provides a stability that no amount of control over the outside world can offer. Through radical equanimity, we cease to be prisoners of our own biological reflexes. We become the conscious, deliberate architects of our own minds.